Spring had returned to Enchancia with a quiet gentleness, as if the kingdom itself sensed the need for peace. After the events in the Weeping Woodlands and the Echo Realm, life had slowed, not from fear or sorrow, but reverence. Something sacred had shifted, and the royal family moved with deeper intention. Elara, now toddling on stronger legs, no longer glowed with runaway magic. Her pendant still pulsed gently at night, but its rhythm was steady, grounded, like a heartbeat that had finally found home. One morning, as soft sunlight spilled through the breakfast room, Queen Sofia looked out at the castle gardens and made a quiet decision. "No court meetings today," she said, setting down her tea. "Elara and I are going to plant something." Prince Leo raised a curious eyebrow. "Something specific?" Sofia smiled. "Something honest." They spent the morning gathering supplies: small spades, enchanted watering cans, seeds saved from the royal greenhouses. Elara clutched her tiny silver trowel like a sword. Her crown tilted slightly to one side, already dusted with soil before they even left the castle. Cedric offered a spell to make the ground till itself, but Sofia declined. "This garden needs hands, not wands." Out in the castle courtyard, near the newly bloomed heart listener flower, Sofia chose a patch of land where the grass had gone thin. The soil was soft, still pulsing faintly from the magic Elara had brought back from the Echo Realm. "We'll call it the Garden of Whispers," Sofia said, kneeling beside her daughter. Elara clapped her hands, and the whisperwings, the tiny glowing insects of the forest, came flitting around them in a swirl of gold and green. They hummed softly, a gentle accompaniment to the work ahead. They began with lavender. Sofia showed Elara how to press her thumb into the soil to dig a shallow nest for the sprout. Elara mimicked her carefully, her fingers tiny but determined. "Lavender helps people remember," Sofia explained. "Not just memories, but peace. Quiet moments, safety." Next came sunberries, golden, orange flowers with soft fruit that glowed slightly at dusk. Elara giggled when the petals tickled her nose. She planted each one with a kiss, as if it were a spell of her own. By midday, the patch was a tapestry of color: rows of calming herbs, cheerful blossoms, and wild mint from Lucinda's enchanted greenhouse. Elara had smeared dirt on her cheeks and collected a small army of ladybugs in her apron. Sofia didn't mind. This was the kind of magic she wanted her daughter to know, the kind that took time, touch, and trust. As they worked, villagers passing by the castle gates paused to watch. Children waved. Elders bowed their heads in quiet thanks. The story of Elara's journey had already woven itself into the hearts of the people, and still, Sofia and her daughter worked. Late in the afternoon, when shadows began to stretch and the air turned cooler, Elara grew tired. She curled up under the flowering heart listener and yawned, her fingers brushing the petals gently. Sofia sat beside her, brushing hair from Elara's eyes. "You've done more for this kingdom than most ever will," she whispered. "But today, you just made it more beautiful." A soft rustling behind them made Sofia turn. It was Leo, holding a bundle of saplings, young trees grown from seeds brought back from distant lands. "Thought you might want these," he said with a quiet grin. Together they planted 3, one for Elara, one for Sofia, and one for Leo. They would grow together, side by side, guardians of the garden. And as Elara drifted into sleep beside the roots, something gentle stirred in the air. A breeze. Not magical, not summoned, just natural, real. It carried a scent of lavender and fresh earth. It carried joy, and it whispered, not in words, but in feeling, the kind that only growing things understand. That night, a soft rainfall kissed the garden. No thunder, no lightning, just the rhythmic patter of water meeting life. Inside the castle, Sofia watched from the nursery window as the droplets ran down the glass. Elara slept soundly in her cradle, one hand curled around a sprig of mint she'd insisted on bringing inside. Leo joined her at the window. "She's different," he said. "She's becoming," Sofia replied. They stood in silence a while longer. Below them, the Garden of Whispers shimmered with dew. Cedric had offered to shield it, to enchant the soil, to ward off pests and frost, but Sofia had said no. Let it live as it is, a child giggling over roots, a flower blooming in a place where sorrow used to grow. Meanwhile, at the edge of the forest, just beyond the site of the castle, a figure watched, not with malice, with wonder. It was the guardian from the weeping woodlands, reborn and now silent, cloaked in branches and light. They watched as Elara's joy spilled into the soil and knew their realm was safer now. No longer forgotten, no longer alone. A single blossom, lavender and gold, grew from the tip of the guardian's staff, and they smiled.